Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to our neck of the woods. So today's video, we are going to be talking about our plumbing finally, getting our permit, and we're also going to be doing the spray foam insulation on the inside gable ends, which means we have to talk about our venting stacks and how all of our plumbing is going to work. And then we'll go from there once the county comes back with a permit and we'll get everything done. All right, so first things first, if you guys remember in one of my past videos, I said that we got to pay $60 for our plumbing permit. We also have to pay $15 for every fixture that's going in the house. And the total of everything adds up to $300. Probably not that bad, but it is what it is. But they're counting more stuff than you thought, or that I originally thought. For example, the master bath sink. There's going to be 2 sinks, so they are counting those as 2 different units, even though they're going to be tied into one P-trap and have their own vent together. The county still calls that as 2 fixture units. So that's $30 right there just for that. So then, of course, you've got toilet and shower and dishwasher, garbage disposal, and everything else that you can think of. So again, all of that added up to $300. Plus $60, $300 total with the $60 included for the permit. So we've got that all done. We're ready to submit, and then we can go from there. Now, one thing that the county wants that I mentioned is I have to do like a drawing on a napkin, and I basically just put it on an example page here. And what this is it's called an isometric drawing. It's not to scale or anything. It's just showing the county you're going to be running the appropriate size piping. You're going to be having P-traps in areas where they're supposed to be, the vent stacks where they're supposed to be, and everything gets in the correct size. So not to confuse you all, but there's a lot of different, there's basically 3 different types of fixture units for plumbing that I've learned. So fixture unit number 1, you guys have already heard me talk about this, and that is the plumbing side for the water and stuff. I told you guys that when you're calculating how many fixture units you have in your house, that tells you what size piping you need to run your water and where. So if you're doing like I did, we ran a main tree branch all the way through the house, and based on my PSI and how many fixture units I have in the house, we started at a 1-inch line. Off of that 1-inch line will be a 3/4 inch T that will go all the way down closest to the fixture unit. And then we'll transition down to 1/2 inch. It'll pop up through the floor and actually provide water to that unit. But fixture units are not just a value of 1 when we're talking about plumbing for your water. A shower head, for example, has a fixture unit of 4, while the sink has a fixture unit of like 1.5. And then I think the outside like hose barbs and stuff, for like a garden hose, those have a fixture value unit of like 1. So that's one way to discuss fixture unit values. Plumbing, water size, and I think I have like 64 fixture units in my house, which is way more than what you would think. But again, washing machine I think has a value of 4. Everything adds up real quick because of how you need to supply that water. And nobody wants to be taking a shower and have a 3/4 inch line that go over, and then off that single 3/4 inch line, you neck off a 1/2 inch to a toilet and a 1/2 inch off to a shower. Somebody flushes the toilet, and then someone in the shower gets burned because the toilet took all the cold water away from the shower. The hot water was the only water then supplying that shower head, and then someone gets burned. We want our main branch to be 1 inch, 3/4 come off that 1 inch, and then it'll neck down to 1/2 inch, but each one of those runs will go to the item by itself off of that 1-inch line, so we have no pressure drop, no one gets burned, pressure doesn't drop when multiple sinks are turned on. It's gonna be an awesome house to live in for water pressure. Now, the next fixture unit that I was talking about is plumbing side, but for the sewer side now. So The reason why that matters is because you have to get your vent stack right. I believe the plumbing code for sewer lines say you can only have 13 fixture units for a 2-inch vent stack going up through your roof. Well, in the master bath, we've only got 2 sinks, a shower, and a toilet. Obviously, that's only 4 items itself, but each one of those has a value, so we may or may not be able to use a 2-inch vent stack out the roof. We may have to up to a 3-inch vent line. Now, I don't know these off the top of my head. I've only just now started to research this. I did ask a plumber, and he said that example in the master bath, you should be fine for a 2-inch, but you're really close. So you might as well just step up to that last 3-inch line that goes up through the roof and have everything else be 2-inch before they all come together. So the sinks will be 2-inch, the shower will be 2-inch, the toilet will be 2-inch, but then they'll all come together in a 3-inch just to make sure the venting is done properly. And then last fixture unit is really what is just on this isometric drawing. And I'll talk about this as you guys look at it up here in the corner. So basically you can just see as we start in the bottom left, we got a 3-inch line going down into a 4-inch line where that will go out through the basement wall and will go to the septic tank. We got a 2-inch line going up to the bathroom sink ×2, 2-inch line before it merges into everything before it's a 3-inch. And then you can see the shower is a 2-inch, but the toilet is a 3-inch. And then we're going over and we've got the lavatory. And by the way, that WC, just a little bit of trivia, that WC, that is the toilet. Plumbers just call it a water closet because I guess back in the day, homes didn't used to have toilets. And then when plumbing became more of a common thing, they converted the closets in their homes into toilets. So it was called a water closet. But that actually is, the WC actually is a toilet. So if we move on down, we got the lavatory. That is the half bath sink. And then of course we got another water closet, which is the toilet in the half bath. And then again, you just go on down, you can see there's 3-inch lines again for the toilet, 2-inch pretty much for everything, except again, the 3-inch going up into the roof. So again, this doesn't have to be anything special. The county just wants to see that, okay, yeah, I see you've got on the sinks and the showers, you drew a little P-trap there. Yep, toilets need 3-inch. We add all those fixture units up. Yeah, you're doing a 3-inch through the roof. You can probably get away with a 2. I see on the lavatory for the half bath and the kitchen island, you've got that AAV, so that's an air emittance valve. So we're not tying those into the vent stacks out the roof because you can't put a vent stack through your kitchen island because then you'll just have a pipe in the middle of your kitchen going up to the ceiling. That would obviously look disgusting and be horrible. So that's an air admittance valve underneath of the cabinet, which is a one-way valve that will open up so sewer gas doesn't want to go out, but when things are flushing, the valve will open, air gets drawn in, and acts just like a vent stack. And that's basically it. So we've got, again, 3 different types of plumbings that we're talking about: the sewer, the water, and the values that they want to see for your venting. And then we're just gonna get started. As long as they approve this, I'll just send up, 1, 2, 3, 4 total. So in the laundry room, we'll have 2 vent stacks going up. The toilet's gonna need 1 to go up in the half bath and then 1 going up in the master bath closet, wherever we can find a wall that's easily accessible to get up into the roof. So really, that's all we gotta do. And once those 4 2-inch lines are up there, we can spray foam them to the drywall, and then we're good to go with fully insulating the attic with blown in, and we can also get the guys out here for the closed cell spray foam on those internal gable walls. Now, I did get a quote back from the closed cell spray foamer, and it looks like those 2 internal gable end walls are gonna be about almost $2,200. And it's only about 430 square feet. Now, that's a lot of money to be spending, but really, there's no other way to do it, guys. Some people mentioned in the past, in between the 2x that are turned sideways, the 2x studs, put an 1.5 inches of foam in there, and then take another 1.5 inches or 2 inch or 3 inch of foam and lay it across horizontally, like in the opposite direction to cover your joints, and just insulate it that way. But for the price of 4x8 sheets of 2-inch pink foam, which I think is the highest R value at an R10. You're not even at the R value of 2 inches of closed cell spray foam. Again, you're looking at an R10 versus an R14. You're not air sealing 100% because it's just a foam board stuck up against there. And you're looking at a lot of labor on me. I only have access now to the house up through the ladder access here and then going through the gable end wall in between the garage and the house. I can't put a 4x8 sheet up through there. I would have to cut each one of those down and only have like a 2x8 sheet. And then each one of the boards that I would have to put in between, again, my wooden trusses going this way, each one of those would have to be cut. They'd have to be cut at that angle. They'd have to be glued in, and then I'd have to put the second board on there. That's 1,000 times going up and down in through the attic to get those gable end walls insulated with foam. And those foam boards at 2 inches are over $1 per square foot. I think with tax, it's over $1.10 per square foot that I would have to pay, plus all that manual labor. The 4 inches of closed cell spray foam at $2,200 is about $1.28 a square foot. So I'm literally saving myself like 10 cents a square foot by either doing it myself, again, because those foam boards are very expensive, or just have somebody come over here real quick and spend a couple hours and just spray that wall, jump over on the other side, spray the wall, and I'm freaking done. So it's a no-brainer. I'm gonna spend over $2,000 no matter what to insulate those gable end walls. And honestly, the spray foaming is just gonna be easier on me. It's gonna be 100% air sealed, and it'll be done in a day, and I don't have to worry about it at all. Now, the only thing that does suck with that is the entire attic that's gonna have the blown in cellulose with the discount on buying X amount of bags where the price drops to about 10 something a bag. The entire house at about 1,920 square feet. It's gonna cost me about $2,200. So that's kind of crazy that we're gonna use 4 inches of closed cell spray foam on only 430 square feet, and that's gonna be $2,200. And then I'm gonna insulate with an R60, 1,900 square feet. And again, I'm going to pay about $2,200. That just blows my mind that you can insulate so much more, and one costs just so much more than the other. So Aaron, I really hope you like the vaulted ceilings in the living room, because you're literally doubling the price of insulation because you wanted those vaulted ceilings, and we have to worry about those internal gable end walls, as opposed to if we just made the house completely pancake flat at 10 foot 5 inches, and we could have just blown in the 1,900 square foot and we would have just been done with it. So Aaron, I really hope you like the way this house turns out, because it's a lot more money than we could have spent. Hey everybody, welcome back. It is not permit time, but I decided to bust out the generator because what a perfect timing. It's only been a few days and the electric company showed up. They're here right now, so I've got no power to the house. I've got no power anywhere. They're replacing that collar that broke, so water isn't going down the 2-inch stack and getting down into the electrical panel, which of course is just gonna rust everything out and potentially could be dangerous if it jumps. So figured why not bust out the generator, fire it up, change out the oil, get some good gas in it, and maybe hook it up to the RV, or just let it sit out here for a few hours and let it run, since it's probably been a year or more since we've had the power go out and we've actually had to use it. So again, kind of perfect timing to do some maintenance, and maybe one day this thing will actually power our house. It's not that powerful. It's only a Westinghouse 7,500 watt running, but it's got a 9,500 peak startup, and I think its max is only 30 amp. So it can run the RV, but the RV needs a 50 amp. So it can't run everything. But if we put this under the deck one day in the back and put a disconnect where this will plug into the house, and we've got an internal disconnect if the power ever goes out, we can at least run the TV and the internet and the refrigerator and stuff like that, and you know, have some power where, when the power goes out. So again, 7,500 isn't perfect for running a house. I would think you need 10,000 plus if you actually run to try and power up the panel. and amperage wise, I mean, you'd need hundreds of amps, but just for the little stuff, again, to make the everyday convenience going on. So let's change the oil. Let's see if we can fire this thing up, and let's see if it still runs. All right, oil's changed, but I got a feeling it's been over a year. Our remote start isn't going to work. This is a huge reason why I actually bought this thing, because if it does go under the porch, technically you can just kind of run outside real quick, click the on position, and you can use the remote start and fire it up. But yeah, this battery's probably dead. I don't know if this will recharge it, or if we just need to go to the store and pick up a new, basically a little ATV battery, and get this thing working again. But let's see if we can hand crank it over and see if it'll actually start. This is a big generator to be pulling by hand. Fuel is on. Choke is on. Not bad, that fired up first time as soon as I actually pushed the choke on. Only took one pull. The other 4 or 5 pulls that I did, the choke wasn't all the way on, but not bad for sitting for a year or more. So I'll let that run for like an hour, because I don't really need to hook up the RV. They said they would only be like an hour or so, and the sun's beating down on the RV. It's actually pretty warm in there, so we don't need heat. And there's nothing that the house needs power for now either. But that thing does power the RV, not every single component. I don't think it'll run the AC, but no, you know what? I am wrong. That will run the AC. I don't know why you need 50 amps to an RV when 30 will do. Something must be off. I can't remember. Maybe some of the breakers are shut down in the electrical panel. But it did a fine job for about a week and a half when we first moved out to the property, because we had no power. That generator ran for a week and a half straight in 90-degree heat so we could have the AC on. And it does suck some gas down. You constantly have to keep pouring it in there and filling it up. But again, we'll run it for an hour, make sure everything runs good, and then break it down, and just one more little maintenance thing to do. Oh, and check that out. I just got back into the RV, and look, we've got power. So we have no electricity running to the RV, but we're still on that huge marine DC battery that's out front. That thing only lasts about 2 hours or so, but as you can see, we do have power for lights. The furnace is actually running right now, so that, I guess, doesn't need any power besides the initial spark for the igniter. And then we've got a few outlets in here that are USB based, like over in there and over in there, so you can charge a phone and stuff. But the microwave definitely doesn't work, because that needs a ton of power. The TV is actually powered on, so that is running off of the DC. So if you guys remember when we blew a fuse when we were doing the space heater, when I put it over there on that outlet and we ended up blowing something, that's because the refrigerator, the outlet back there, and the TV, those are all run off of DC, and I should not have put that space heater on that outlet. It was way too much power for it. But everything else in the RV is run off of AC power, so that's freaking cool. So at least for a couple hours, we do have power in the RV off the battery, and the essentials are working, refrigerator and heat, so we're good to go. All right, they are all done. That was super easy. Took them maybe 20 minutes. Actually, it took me more time to fire the generator up and change the oil. So they got this collar replaced. All they did was do the disconnect up there. I think they pulled back on the wires a few inches, changed out the collar, and then put it back down and fed the wires back into the meter. And if you guys are wondering about the mouse, yes, he is still down in the 3-inch pipe. I dropped some mothballs down in there, so he would be very uncomfortable to get him to like climb back out, and he did not climb back out. So I dumped that entire bottle of rodent repellent spray foam down in there. So that spray foam's probably down in there a good 2 foot or so, and then it came out a little bit up top. And I also spray foamed around the photo cell. And there's no signs that he's chewed out yet, and there's no sign that his friends or family have chewed underneath here yet and tried to get back into the box. So for right now, all I can say is he's probably dead, since I can almost guarantee you that in that 3-inch line underground, I guarantee some of our joints probably separated, which means there's probably water down in that 3-inch line. In fact, I know there's a little bit of water down in that 3-inch line, because until we got the backfill done on the basement, I was actually having some water come through the 3-inch line into the LB joint before it goes up into the panel. I was actually seeing water come out and actually come into the basement. So until we got that line tapered down and spray foamed it and completely sealed it at the LB joint, yeah, I think there's just going to be water sitting in that 3-inch conduit underground, because one of our joints probably opened up or the glue separated when we were pushing it down into the ground. So he really can't come this way, because I don't think a mouse is going to swim 300 feet in water underground. And we got 2 or 3 feet now of spray foam down in there vertically. So he's basically just going to suffocate and die. But it should be okay. All of those wires, except for the ground, are approved for ground contact. So they didn't even have to go in conduit. So the fact that they are kind of swimming probably in water until the ground, I guess, I don't know, maybe hardens more from when we dug it out, but it is what it is. But no more mice for right now, and electric's been fixed. We don't have to worry about water, and power in the RV's back, so we're good to go for another day. All right, everybody, Aaron and I are on our way to our most favorite place in the world, that she loves just standing around doing nothing while I look at everything.
Home Depot sucks the life out of me.
I think it's any store. It's not just one in particular.
It's big box stores. They like drain my energy.
You gotta look at stuff more that you want then, and
I do.
Figure something out.
You stand and look at lumber and do calculations, and I look at aesthetic stuff. I'm gonna look at cabinets today.
Not even those stores, I think, have the best stuff that, I don't know, like off-the-shelf stuff. We need one of those expensive stores that carrying crazy amount expensive stuff,
Ferguson.
But something that we can afford that still looks better than like a big box item.
So let's go do that instead.
Well, no, because we need, so what we're doing today is we need to pick up some lights. That's number one. We used up all the lights in the gym, and I think still think we need 3 more, because we're doing a crazy 12 amount, but we need some for the entire basement. So I don't want the basement to really be as bright or even need to have those lights as close together as in the gym that we've already proved. But if we're having a party down there, there's gonna be a bar, TV, we need enough lights, so instead of spacing them out like every 4 feet, we space them out like every 8 feet or something. And you just have adequate, awesome lighting down in the basement, again, for like a party. Now, one thing that I wanna mention, so this video is probably gonna be a little bit long in the making. The spray foam guys can't come out till the end of this month, and it's the 6th right now. So we've got quite a while for them to come out. And then I have no idea how long the permit's gonna take, so that's gonna be some time too. One interesting thing I noticed on the plumbing permit, it says if you've started any plumbing at all, you need to multiply your total by 25%. Well, how do they know that you've already started? Am I submitting a plumbing permit and then they're gonna come out before they issue it?
No.
Or, I don't know, they're just trying to scare you into not doing that. But I haven't done any plumbing for the sewer side, which is what this permit is for. I don't think the hot water tank water lines count, and I don't even know the hot water tank technically is on there as a checkoff that I've got to pay $15 for. And I don't know if the intake and exhaust, because it's made out of PVC, I don't know if that technically counts for plumbing too. But I don't know, that's gonna suck if we have to multiply that by 25%. But like I said, the total's only $300, so I guess we'll just have to see when I go there and when we get it back to see what actually is gonna happen.
What's the plan for finishing drywall?
It is finished.
No.
For what?
Finish, like tape and mud and sand and all that.
It has to be really hot in the house.
So never. June?
Not that hot, but it's got to be warm enough that it doesn't freeze and crack and move, and it's still getting into the 20s at night. Even though today, right now, it is almost 70 degrees, 68 in the truck right now, so pretty warm. So we're also gonna be, I guess that's gonna take some time then too, technically, that we're gonna have to wait on insulating the ceiling, because if the plumber comes out pre-inspection or whatever and sees that I've put vent stacks up into the ceiling, which again are 6 vent stacks, even though I'm just gonna be drilling a hole and sticking like a 5-footer, 10-footer down in the hole so that I can air seal it up top, and then it's not gonna go anywhere. It's just gonna be sitting up in the attic, but I don't wanna be charged 25% for starting plumbing without their say-so. So yeah, I would love to get the insulation going sooner rather than later, but we gotta wait for the spray foam guys anyway till the end of this month, and hopefully, since that's about 2.5 weeks away, hopefully the permit will be issued by then, and the spray foam guys can come out and do their job, and we can call that project done. All right, so headed back home now. That was a
Expensive.
unexpected $666 that I wasn't thinking about spending, but we got pretty much a little bit of everything. We had to get some of those extended air vent channels, because like I said, for the 5 at least that are over top of the cathedral ceilings, I think the insulation is going to be too tall, and it's going to get blown in over those air channels, or when the air is actually flowing, I'm afraid it will blow the insulation away. So we got 5 more of those to extend them way further up in the attic so it doesn't really hit anything. We also bought all of their lights that they had once again. And 2 important things that we really needed, since this video is talking about the attic insulation. We went ahead and got a bathroom ceiling fan that I've been neglecting for quite some time, and that is obviously for the half bath. We got to get that obviously the drywall cut out and installed, so we have that done. And then the air vent itself, and then we still need to locate a 16-inch vent for the master bath, since all of that is going to be under the attic insulation. That all has to be done obviously before we can get that done. So and the other big thing that we got was a roll of Tyvek. Now I got the cheap Tyvek, the woven Tyvek. No clue what woven Tyvek is for. It clearly is not going to keep air out, and it's not going to keep water out. So what the hell is the purpose of a woven Tyvek for you standard builders out there? I do not understand it at all. It makes no sense to me. It's, again, not going to keep any water or air out, so what is its point? And then I think last, just like I said, miscellaneous stuff, and we got a couple rolls of insulation, so that way we can finish off drywalling the half bath and get it done, get the door installed, and I think we should be looking good that we've got enough PVC pipe and everything ready to go for vent stacks and stuff like that. So I think we should have everything to insulate and be done with the ceiling pretty soon, when the county again approves the plumbing and we get the spray foam guys out and they do their job. Officially back home now, and of course it started to pour down rain, so freaking awesome that we had insulation in the back of the truck. But we're back home now, and we're gonna install the Tyvek now. Good thing this thing came in 3 feet wide, because I just hacked it in half at 18 inches, and 18 inches is exactly how much blown-in cellulose we're gonna do. So we need to attach it on these 2x4s running vertically so that the insulation obviously can't fall off. And I've got about 1 million of these things left over. These are from DMX, it's a washer. They are for leftover from our dimple membrane that we put all around the perimeter of the house so that the water goes down for the basement and gives the basement some waterproofing. So we're gonna secure these, and because it is a woven type of material, it should be really strong, that it should stay up there for 100 years, and the insulation isn't gonna push it off, and it's not gonna like tear and fall apart one day, like maybe a thinner, clear plastic membrane would. So hopefully we got enough of these. That's obviously gonna be long enough, and it should be pretty easy just to go up and over on these triangles up in here, and we should get done pretty quickly. All right, that's one side done. I won't bore you with the other side. I did not get that very bottom corner in there done, but that's okay because that is below 18 inches. So anything that blows through that corner right there, that can just all be the same insulation. But now I'll even though I put some of those little washers here in the middle, when the spray foam guys come out here, they can just go ahead and just spray all of this and maybe even get a little bit on the Tyvek here and kind of up in here where there's still some holes. They can just hit all this with spray foam and that'll cover it up so that way nothing can fall through. But like I said, besides that little corner over there, I think we're all good to go. I just have to spend a little bit of time over here because this is gonna be a little bit awkward to get insulation in because we've got this extra wall right there and then the bathroom wall right there. So the spray foam guys will hit that, but we need to figure out something up in here, I guess, unless we just go ahead and say screw it. This may be like 2 foot right here, but that's probably like 1/10 of one bag if I just fill all of that in completely 100% with insulation, and I just continue this bag kind of down in here, stopping at that last corner right there. And again, when I'm blowing in the insulation for this flat ceiling, we can just kind of blow that in 100%, and then that way when the insulation's up in here, it gets blown in pretty much all the way up to the roof decking or whatever 18 inches is. All right, done and done. And just one little other thing, went a little crazy with the spray foam. If you can see all these orange dots over here running all the way down, those are also at 18 inches. So no matter what, wherever I'm standing, I can look down and blow 18 inches against the wall, and we can blow 18 inches all the way against the wall down there. The only thing I guess I'll have to do is come back when the spray foam guys put their closed cell all over that wall. I can come by one more time and do a couple dots on the gable end walls, so I also know where 18 inches is. But yeah, so besides for plumbing vents and the bathroom fan over there that I still have to install, we're pretty much done up here. So fingers crossed they get here maybe sooner than anticipated, and the permit gets done sooner than anticipated. So until then, I'll be back later. Good morning, everybody. No, I'm not quite awake yet. It is super early, but the day has come. The spray foam guys are here right now. They're warming up all of the closed cell spray foam. He said it takes about 45 minutes. I'm gonna put you guys up on time lapse, hopefully up in there, and you guys can get him doing his work. And we also got our plumbing permit. So I have not started the plumbing work yet. As you can see, we've got some vent pipes laying here. So in this video, I'm probably not going to get the attic actually blown in yet. We'll have to do like kind of a part 2 of finishing off the attic. But at least for today, when they finish, we will have 4 inches of closed cell spray foam all over the backside of this drywall. He promises it's the right temperature, and we're still on winter formula. So tonight, in the next couple days, it's gonna be getting down, I think, back into the 20s, even though in the daytimes we have been hitting like almost 70 degrees, and right now it's about 50 something. So hopefully with 50 something in the day and maybe 20, 30 tonight, it'll be warm enough that that will cure properly on the backside of that wall and everywhere on the backside of that gable wall over there. But he assures me that it'll go correctly, and hopefully we get a good 4 inches. And again, I know it's only gonna be an R28 as opposed to the ceiling drywall, which will be an R60. But hopefully, since heat rises, maybe that flat wall won't be much of a concern, but at least it will be 100% air sealed. And he's assured me that he will go ahead and make sure he hits it good down on the transition. So he'll spray a little bit onto the flat drywall, and he'll spray a little bit onto the 2x4 trusses that the drywall doesn't go up and over on that internal gable end wall. So again, by the end of the day, everything should be done, and we'll just have to wait on a later day for me to decide where every single 2-inch pipe, for example, right here, a 2-inch pipe has to go, because we have to send one up right there for a vent stack. And we got to punch through that top plate right there, and then inside up in there we got to figure out how we're gonna 90 over and bring more pipes together, and then that will go up and out the gable end wall over there, or we might actually go up through the roof. Not something ideal. I don't want to go up through the roof, We are allowed to punch through gable end walls on each side for our vent stacks. So that way nothing can, rain-wise, can get down and penetrate through the roof. The only thing I did think about is if we are punching out through a gable end wall, that means the PVC pipe has to go out the gable end wall and then go up a little bit. And that makes a nice, perfect little shelf for birds to like put nests and stuff. And I definitely don't want a bird sitting on my PVC pipe and putting their, you know, all their filth and they chew up, you know, dirt and everything else like mud to put it together. I don't want that sitting against my siding. So I'll have to figure something out about that. But hang tight. Hopefully by the end of the day, we'll wrap this video up here. Just know we've got to put some vent stacks in first. Once all that's done, we'll buy 178 bags of blown in cellulose bags. Get that free machine from Home Depot, and then we'll just knock it all out in one day and blow it all in. So hang tight. I'll see you guys back at the end of the day, and hopefully it all goes smoothly. Nothing warps, moves, everything cures properly, and it doesn't smell like disgusting rotting fish. All right guys, they're all done. It only took about 3 hours, maybe less, by the time they got set up and everything. But so far it looks good. He had a measuring probe that he said he kept sticking in, and he gave me a full 4 inches. So we got an R28 all on there. As you can see, he put it all down over top of there onto the drywall and everything up on there. So that means we're 100% air sealed. And then of course he sprayed the Tyvek, so nothing can fall down insulation wise. But he sprayed the crap out of this side, it looks like. I'm not gonna touch it, and I'm trying to get the heck out of here because I can smell something in the air. I don't know what it is, but I guarantee this N95 mask isn't 100% what you want without actually having one of those real respirators. So we'll come back at a later time in a later video and actually touch it, see how hard it gets, and make sure that it's cured properly. And then we'll be back again on another video when we're trying to do the rest of the insulation and put some markers along there, so I get roughly 18 inches that I can see real quick and blow in there. And then of course, real quick, he also hit that whole wall over there, so we can just start dumping in insulation blown in all throughout there. And even what's up on there on the vaulted ceilings, it'll fall down, and it'll probably be like 3 or 4 feet just in that corner. So hopefully that bathroom ceiling's strong, unless I figure something else out to do. But hold on real quick, let's get out of here and let's wrap this up. All right, now I can breathe again. So we'll let that cure for a few days. Then hopefully the plumber friend can come out here and we can at least get the vent stacks done. I don't care if the piping on the inside of the house for the vent stacks are only like 2 feet down into the wall, as long as I can attach a coupler and continue the vent stacks down to where they need to be before they hit their P-traps, I'm good with that. But all I need and all I care about is that we get the vent stacks done. So right now, we just need to get all the connections made, join them all together, bring the 3-inch out of the house, whatever he thinks is gonna be best. We can use a ladder to get up onto the garage roof, so we don't need a lift out here to do that. But we may punch through the gable end walls and just start rough plumbing them in on the outside. But on the inside, I need everything in the attic 100% done, so that way when we go in and blow in, we don't have to go back in again and be stepping on the insulation to try and get back over to a vent stack. But as far as I know, I think we're done. So besides the vent stacks, we knocked those out. We're ready to place the order, purchase the blown in, and then again in another week or so we'll knock all that out. But at least you guys got a video right now this week, back to another house video as opposed to the car videos that I've been doing. So hope you guys enjoyed this one, because that's just one more thing done, one more close to getting this house really feeling secure and feeling awesome come summer, that we can keep some of that summer heat out and keeping our radiant floor heat in that's been kind of running all year long at only 50 degrees. So we will see you guys next time. Hope you enjoyed it. Hit the thumbs up, like the video, hit us up on NeckofTheWoods 2020 on Instagram, and we will see you guys all later. Exactly. Take care.